Hello everyone, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 episode talk, and who's ready for a jigsaw puzzle? Because that's the point of this episode, plus a couple other things. Starting off, we have a beautiful teacher who is an absolute rotten hag on the inside. But anyway, the beautiful teacher's heading to school, and she gets hello from all the guys because she's hot. However, then she sees a girl who has a little mascot hanging from her bag, and she then confiscates it because that is not allowed under her rules. Meanwhile, another girl asked Thea and Miho for advice, and normally I would have skipped this, but it's important for the episode, so we'll cover that. So the teacher, the hot teacher, heads over to the vice principal's office, and she wants all personal items banned, and then afterwards uses her beauty in order to get her way. And my first thought was like, oh my god, they're gonna ban the Millennium Puzzle, but no, that doesn't seem to have any effect on that. It is just for the love in the episode. So then the girl who asked for advice earlier apparently likes Joey. Meanwhile, Tristan is mad at Joey because he skipped cleaning duty. But yeah, anyway, she wants to give Joey a gift. However, what kind of gift can she give Joey? And Miho is like, lewd videos. And it's like, yes, she can give that. So then afterwards, Thea calls Yuki for help, and Yuki is like, lewd videos. Like, come on, dude, really? Let's give him porn. Come on, dude. Oh my god, these are supposed to be like, I don't know. Well, teenagers, I guess, do know about the existence of that stuff, so it's not too weird. Carry on, but I'll still find it a little bit weird. But anyway, carry on. But then Yugi has an idea. His grandpa owns a game shop. Joey likes games. Why not give him a game? So we head over to the game shop, and grandpa has the perfect idea. A jigsaw puzzle. However, this jigsaw puzzle is actually not like the normal jigsaw puzzles, because this one is actually blank. Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to write a message on it, then break it apart, and then give it to the person, and then the person finishes the message. You know how it goes. So it's perfect. So she goes to write a message, and then the next day, we need to put it somewhere. We need to put it in his desk. When he finds it, Yugi will take him up to the roof so that no one else will know that kind of stuff, because Yugi's in on this, and he's locked in. What a good boy. Meanwhile, the teacher is having like some kind of marriage or something like that. Marriage plans. However, a kid bumps into her kimono, which causes it to almost get dirty. She then pushes the kid away because of the fact that, well, you know, she doesn't like a dirty kimono, and that causes her potential future husband not to be her future husband anymore. So then, at the day, obviously, that I was just referring to, the teacher heads back to school, and the vice principal was like, how was it? And she's like, oh no, he wasn't the right guy for me. Then heads over to the bathroom, and there she reveals her true colors. And basically, she hates men. That's basically it. She wants to get stuff from men and then afterwards dump them. In that sense, absolutely horrible. However, she was the one who got dumped, and that is something she cannot stand. So she's angry, but then fixes herself up and heads over to teach. So before the teacher comes, Joey is late, but he gets there before the teacher, so everything is fine. Don't worry, Joey, I've had those close encounters myself as well. So Joey in his desk finds the present, and then the teacher walks up and is like, oh, what is this? And he's like, it's not mine, I just found it in my desk. So then she's like, all right, let me just break this thing and finish the puzzle, because at the end there has to be a name. And then Thea steps up and is like, it's mine, I did it, it's mine. And then in her head she's like, I'll just tell Joey later that it was a prank. But anyway, it's mine. So she gets to stay after class in order to be disciplined in that sense. However, that doesn't really go all that well, because of the fact that Thea then counters the teacher by basically being like, your rules are too strict. Like, kids need to have jobs in order to learn how the working world works, and also in order to have money to buy stuff. You know, you shouldn't ban kids from having part-time jobs here at school. So then the teacher's like, well, why don't you just try and get some signatures then, okay? If the students truly do feel that way, you should be able to get yourself some signatures in order to change the rules, right? Technically, that's fair. What she does isn't fair though, because she's gonna make sure that that doesn't happen. Because Thea thinks this is a good idea. She's excited about it. She goes outside, and obviously Yuki's going to help her because he loves her and all that stuff. You know how it goes. Meanwhile, the teacher apparently then sets up the other teachers, the male teachers to be specific, because of the fact that, you know, she's hot and she can use her hotness in order to make men do what she wants. But anyway, in order to basically target Thea, and anyone who signs is going to be targeted as well. So obviously, it's not a success at all. So that's a little bit of a shame. Also, Thea got the puzzle back. So So then the next day, it turns out that someone has ruined Teia's posters, and she's like, well, you know what, I'll take these down, put up some new ones, no problem at all. Joey's like, but that's harassment, technically. Some form of harassment. And I'm like, yeah, Joey, it is. But without an actual, culprit, how are you gonna know who did it? Meanwhile, also, other teachers are starting to treat Teia a little bit more hostile because of the fact that she wants the rules to change. So then later on, there's the Yugi and Teia standing at the door asking for signatures. No one wants to sign. And then bullies arrive. And they basically bully her and break her, her paper with 4 signatures. I don't know if there were any signatures on there, but basically shreds the paper. This caused Joey to come downstairs and be like, "Hey, stop that!" and punches one guy in the face because you know how it goes. You gotta defend your friends. However, this caused the 3 of them to be punished by the teacher and potentially Teia, because she is the one who was the main culprit in this whole thing, is going to get expelled. So then afterwards, the bullies enter and the gang leave except for Yugi. He stays behind a little bit. But anyway, the bullies enter and they were apparently hired by the teacher, and their record is going to be wiped clean in that sense. Their bad school record. Just don't get into any more trouble. Yugi, having to open the door slightly, sees this stuff and now is horrified. So enter Yummy, boys, because it's time for another Yummy no game with the teacher, that is. And basically, if Yummy wins, the teacher will leave Teia alone. But if she wins, Yugi will become her slave. And I'm like, Yummy, you stupid prick, why are you literally betting Yugi's life on it? It's like, you will say that you will become her slave, but like, you will literally put Yugi in this position. This is not gonna be good if you lose this. That is so mean. But whatever, it is game time. And what's the game this time? Puzzle, baby, yes. However, not the regular puzzle. We have mirrors. Yami smashes 2 mirrors, and the one who finishes the mirror first wins. So the teacher starts, but then hurts herself. Like, try some gloves. So puts on the gloves, and then they both go in order to finish it. One little problem, though. The teacher cheats by taking off the blindfold, because they were blindfolded as well. I think I forgot to say that. But they are blindfolded. She takes off the blindfold, and she finishes first, obviously, which normally doesn't happen to a woman. However, this causes, because of the fact that she cheated in the Yummy no game, that her face to kind of crack and fall apart because all the makeup falls off, and the ugliness underneath will be on the external stuff. Now, the thing is, this is only in her head. She's the only one that sees this. But there you go. The teacher has been punished, and then the next day, the teacher has some issues with makeup because of the fact that if she wants to enforce stricter rules, her face will break, at least for her, and also she is putting on way too much makeup. Also, the gang is safe from the teacher, and the girl doesn't like Joey anymore, so that was a quick little nonsensical thing, but it did give us a jigsaw puzzle. So, overall, a very fun episode. I like it when they tackle this kind of stuff, because women aren't perfect either, okay? You have horrible women in the world as well, and that needs to be highlighted as well. And I like the fact that this highlighted it, but also put some more focus on Teia, how determined she is in order to get, good things going. So you have a good woman versus a bad woman, and you love to see it. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section down below. With that being said, thank you all so very much for watching, and I do hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if you don't already, turn on notifications, don't forget, check out the Let's Play channel link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next time for another episode. Bye!